Welcome to Solo Shot First, and today we are going to be going back to, well, they class it here as Star Wars Episode 1. I would sort of really obviously call it the Phantom Menace, and this is the, I believe it's pronounced Kaadu animal. And there's obviously a Jar Jar Binks figure in there with some, I think it's an energy ball and an atlow. But in terms of the packaging, look, I mean, I've actually had this quite a long time. And it was more really, obviously, the reason I picked this up was to have a look really for the creature. Now, I know that obviously these are meant to be sort of native to Naboo, but I always think, you know, with any sort of animal like that, that you could sort of put it anywhere really, especially if you're sort of doing a diorama. So something like this you could quite easily put into like a Tatooine diorama or anything like that. So although obviously while meant to be sort of native to Naboo, you know, the whole idea, as I said, to get this creature was you can put it in any diorama. The actual artwork on the box is actually really nice. I mean, you've got obviously sort of Star Wars Episode 1, the sort of lights behind it, and you've got that lovely image of Maul in the corner. You've got obviously Jar Jar, as you can see there through the bubble. I mean, that figure is, I think, pretty limited. It does look like it just through the bubble, he's got articulation on the one leg. But really some nice looking artwork on the front of this. It does say obviously it comes with realistic running action. Not quite sure how that will work, but we can have a look at that. Let's have a look at the back of the packaging. Now, the back of the packaging is really nice. It does say, obviously, in that top right-hand corner, I will read this out. It does say the Kaadu are nimble creatures from the planet Naboo, often used by the amphibious Gungans as steeds. They carry Gungan warriors like Jar Jar Binks into battle against the seemingly unstoppable Trade Federation army. And I've got to say, that creature does look pretty good. You've got, obviously, down in that bottom left-hand corner, you've got the other figures that were part of... or available, I should say. I'm not necessarily saying they were part of this wave, and it does obviously sort of highlight that Naboo fighter, which we then have seen obviously in a modified version of Mandalorian. Will we get that one? On the sides, I don't know if you can see that. I've got the light on. Just again, similar sort of images, but I just like that idea of that creature, to be honest. So let's get this figure out of the packaging. We'll have one final look at that front. I'm not sure whether I'm going to remove. I probably will have to remove this Jar Jar. But anyway, let's get this figure out of the packaging. We'll have a look. Okay, so here we've got it out of the packaging, and oh god, that took ages to get out of the packaging. Excuse me. It was really well packed with those sort of binders that you have to sort of pull around. I think you could see that on the front how Jar Jar was in. But look, this is a really nice looking creature. Obviously a little bit funny looking, obviously, but that's part of the Star Wars universe. Yeah, I mean, what is not to like about that? I mean, the where they talk about that sort of walking motion, if you hold it up like that, the legs automatically do that. So I suppose you have to, I don't know, do it something like that. Sorry, I'm not very good at that, and that's not how I'd have it. I'd have it simply sort of displayed, sort of standing, if I can get him like that. But some good attention to detail, some very nice colouring on it. You've got that sort of little, I suppose, what it appears to be like I think you might class that as a sleeping bag or some sort of mat. And then obviously you've got the seats on the top. This rain, if you want to call it that, is like a soft goods, just like a piece of... I mean, you could almost class it like as a really small shoestring. I don't know how to describe it other than that. But it's a really nice looking creature, as I said. And I would, if you're going to sort of put up a battle and do any sort of diorama, obviously with sort of the Gungans and the droids, then obviously you're going to, this would be a great one to get. The figure that actually comes with this, the Jar Jar, is not a bad looking from a head sculpt point of view, if I can just get him to stand. She's probably not going to. Doesn't want to play ball. There we go. I don't know if you can see that. If we can scan in on him slightly. It's not a bad looking figure actually at all. There is a little bit of articulation there in the knee, so you can sit him on top of this. But, anyway, you could just put him as any other Gungan, couldn't you, really? You could modify that if you wanted to, if that was your thing. But it's not a bad looking figure. Slightly limited articulation. But as I said, that's to be expected with this figure, and obviously this Kaadu. I think I'm pronouncing that right. The only sort of other accessory you get with it is this here, which obviously goes into Jar Jar's hand. I would have thought. How well he holds that, I'm not 100% sure. But we can look at that another time. Not too worried about that. Let's just see if we can get him actually on the creature. Okay, sorry. So I was just having a quick look at the box. Actually, I'm just going to go handheld. 1 second. Okay, just so you can get a better look. So that's how they sort of have him on the box. The one thing that I did miss, there is a little bit of articulation in that elbow there. Hence, you can get that sort of staff into his hand. But I think he actually looks pretty good on that, to be honest. Let's go back and have a look. Yeah, that actually looks pretty good. I'm quite pleased with that, actually. As I said, I would just probably use this. You know, again, if you're going to, obviously, I said create a battle scene, then absolutely perfect. And if you've got plenty of Gungans and plenty of droids, then this would be cool. And if not, then, you know, as I said, this would look good in any other sort of planet-based diorama, really. So all in all, I'm actually quite impressed with that. I mean, I think I managed to pick this up really, really cheap ages ago. And I think they're still quite sort of cheap on the secondary market. But look, at the end of the day, what's not to like about creatures? And I'm chuffed. I'm actually quite pleased with that. I think that's really a really nice looking creature. The Jar Jar's pretty good, and he actually looks pretty impressive, actually standing, or I should say sitting, on the Kaadu. So, yeah, overall, you know, if you can pick this one up for a reasonable price, as I said, I think they're still relatively good price, then worthwhile picking up. Anyway, it's just a quick one today. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit the like button. If you are new to the channel and you want to subscribe, please do. If you've got any comments, any questions, please leave them in the comment section below, and I'll come back to you as soon as possible. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.